Marcus never expected that standing up for a stranger would change his entire life. He was just a tired single dad trying to get through another day, working 2 jobs to keep a roof over his daughter's head. But sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create the biggest miracles. And on that ordinary Tuesday morning, Marcus was about to discover just how true that really is. What happened next would leave him speechless, and what this mysterious woman wanted from him would turn his world completely upside down. Before we continue with this incredible story, if you love heartwarming tales that restore your faith in humanity, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a moment. Drop a like if you believe in the power of kindness, and let us know in the comments about a time when a stranger's kindness changed your day. Welcome to Heartfelt Moments, where every story reminds us that good people still exist. Now, let's get back to Marcus and the moment that changed everything. Marcus pushed open the door to his neighborhood coffee shop, exhausted before his day had even begun. His alarm hadn't gone off. His daughter Emma had missed the school bus, and he'd already been late to his morning shift at the warehouse. Now, on his lunch break, all he wanted was a strong cup of coffee and 5 minutes of peace. The line was long, and Marcus found himself standing behind a well-dressed woman in her 50s. She wore an elegant coat and carried herself with quiet confidence. Ahead of her, a man in a business suit was arguing loudly with the young barista about his order. Marcus was lost in his own thoughts, mentally calculating whether he could afford to get Emma the new shoes she needed, when the businessman's voice suddenly cut through his exhaustion. "Are you even listening to me?" the man snapped at the barista, a young girl who couldn't have been more than 19. Her name tag read Sophia, and her hands were shaking as she tried to remake his drink. "I'm so sorry, sir," Sophia stammered. "I'll make it again right away." "You should be sorry," he barked. "This is the worst service I've ever experienced. Where's your manager? People like you don't deserve to have jobs." Marcus felt his jaw tighten. He knew what it was like to be on the receiving end of someone's bad day. He'd worked enough customer service jobs to recognize that look on Sophia's face, the one where you're trying not to cry in front of everyone. The woman in front of Marcus turned slightly, and he noticed she was watching the scene unfold too, her expression unreadable, but her eyes sharp and attentive. The businessman wasn't finished. He slammed his hand on the counter, making Sophia jump. "I want a refund, and I want you fired. You're completely incompetent." That's when Marcus stepped forward. He didn't plan it. He didn't think about it. He just moved. "Hey," Marcus said firmly but calmly. "That's enough." The businessman whirled around. "Excuse me? This is none of your business." "Actually, it is," Marcus replied. "You're holding up the line. You're being cruel to someone who's trying her best. And honestly, man, we've all got problems. Taking yours out on her doesn't solve anything." The businessman's face turned red. "Do you know who I am?" Marcus shrugged. Someone who forgot his manners, apparently. A few people in line chuckled quietly. The well-dressed woman in front of Marcus had turned completely around now, watching him with intense interest. "The drink is on me," Marcus said, pulling out his wallet, even though he knew he couldn't afford the gesture. "Take your coffee, and maybe try being kind to the next person you meet. It might surprise you how good it feels." For a moment, the businessman looked like he might explode. Then, perhaps embarrassed by the attention, he grabbed the cup Sophia had remade and stormed out without another word. The tension in the shop dissolved immediately. Sophia looked at Marcus with tears in her eyes. "Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that." "Yes, I did," Marcus said gently. "Nobody deserves to be treated that way." As Marcus stepped up to order his own coffee, the elegant woman ahead of him touched his arm lightly. "That was beautifully handled," she said. Her voice was warm but carried an undertone of authority. "I'm Catherine Morrison." Marcus smiled politely, not recognizing the name. "Marcus, nice to meet you. Would you mind if I bought your coffee?" Catherine asked. "And perhaps we could talk for a few minutes?" Marcus hesitated, glancing at his watch. He really needed to get back to work, but something in Catherine's eyes made him curious. Sure, just for a few minutes. They sat by the window, and Catherine studied him thoughtfully. What you did back there, standing up for that young woman, it showed real character. May I ask what you do for work? Marcus gave a tired laugh. Warehouse in the morning, delivery driver at night. Single dad trying to make ends meet. Catherine nodded slowly. And you still stepped in to help a stranger, even knowing it might cost you something. It was just the right thing to do, Marcus said simply. Catherine pulled out a business card and slid it across the table. Marcus picked it up and his eyes widened. Catherine Morrison, CEO of Morrison Industries. He'd heard of the company, one of the largest charitable foundations in the country. Marcus, I've been looking for someone exactly like you, Catherine said. I need a director for our new community outreach program, someone who genuinely understands what it means to struggle, to be kind when it's hard, to stand up for others. The salary's $120,000 a year, full benefits, and you'd be helping families just like yours all across this city. Marcus couldn't speak. He just stared at her, certain he'd misheard. I come to this coffee shop twice a week, Catherine continued. I've seen dozens of people walk past cruelty and rudeness without saying a word. Today, you showed me that there are still people who care more about doing what's right than staying comfortable. That's who I need leading this program. Tears filled Marcus's eyes. I don't know what to say. Say you'll think about it, Catherine said, standing. And Marcus, your daughter is very lucky to have a father who shows her, every single day, what real kindness looks like. 3 months later, Marcus started his new job. He made sure Sophia got a college scholarship from the foundation, and he never forgot that a simple act of defending a stranger changed not just his life, but gave him the chance to change countless others. Sometimes kindness is its own reward, but sometimes when you least expect it, it opens doors you never dreamed possible. The question is, will you be kind anyway, even when no one is watching? Because you never know who might be paying attention, or whose life you might change, including your own.